What's going on, everybody? My name's Josh. This is my 2012 5.0, and I'm going to break down all the costs, whether that's gas, maintenance, insurance, everything like that. I'm going to break all of that down and tell you how this car right here cost me more to own over the last 365 days than what it was selling for when I bought it. So first things first, what did I buy the car for? The car was listed for, I believe, $16,000. Out the door with taxes and everything, I paid $15,300 for it. They didn't really have a lot of room to budge on it. So a little bit about the car. It's a 2012 GT Premium. So it's the 5-liter V8 with the leather interior, shaker sound system. This one also has the comfort pack, which is heated seats and dual power seats. Other than that, it really only has one other rare option, which is the 373 rear end in this car, but it is a non-track pack car, which is a little bit rare, but that's what this car has. It's race red with black interior, which is a pretty common spec, but that's pretty much everything you need to know about the car. When I bought it, it had right around 100,000 miles on it, which I know what you're thinking, that's a lot. Why would I do that? Well, it's what I could afford. I'm a college kid, and it was just one of those dream cars. So basically, I had a 240 SX before this, and I've had a lot of Mustangs before that car. But I took the money that I made off the 240 and the money from the 240 and basically put a good chunk of it down as a down payment on this car. So starting off, the first expense for me was the down payment on the car, which was $5,500. So that means that I put that down immediately, and then I've been doing payments since then. So $5,500 plus my payments. My payments are $168 a month, and it has been 12 months now. 168 times 12 will end up getting you $2,016 in car payments over the last year. So if you break that down, you'll figure out that I have a pretty long loan period. Sorry, there's a little bit of highway noise. The reason I have a little bit of a longer loan period is because I'm in college still. I want to keep the payments low, and I got a really good interest rate. So I basically decided to do the lower payments, and once I'm out of school, I'll probably refinance and just pay it off sooner, or I'll just pay it off in a lump sum at the end of the school year if I have enough money saved up by then. So that is what my monthly payments are. So going off of that, I'm just gonna go right into gas. So this car, it typically costs me about $75 per week in gas, but because I drive to school, I drive to work, I drive to see my girlfriend, I do a lot of driving every day. So it typically breaks down to about $75 per week, and I multiplied that by 4 and multiplied it by 9 instead of 12 because the car was broken for about 3 months out of the year, which I'll get into next. So gas was about $2,700. Under the hood, you'll notice it's not stock. I have a full Cobra Jet set up under here with the Ford Racing monoblade throttle body, JLT cold air intake, JBA headers, JLT air oil separator, and a few other odds and ends under here. And the car did not come with this stuff. That was put on there after I bought it. So basically, this whole area is what has cost me the most money. Back in December, my motor ended up blowing up, and it wasn't too bad. I was just driving normal. I have a whole video about it, but basically what happened was I was driving and it started knocking. So I wasn't driving aggressively or anything, and it just started knocking. So it needed a new motor. I ended up getting the new motor along with the new transmission for $5,500 with all the Cobra Jet stuff on it and the headers. So in the end, it ended up saving me on performance parts, and I had stuff I wouldn't have done until down the line anyway, which was nice, but it still was a huge expense. So obviously I couldn't really afford all of that. So to offset that, I ended up selling the stock engine and transmission to a guy that wanted to put it in his old project truck. So I sold the stock engine and transmission for $3,300. And that helped offset the cost a little bit. Then I had HPJ Performance install the engine and transmission, and they also tuned the car. So when they did that, I gained like 100 and something wheel horsepower. It's 439 wheel horsepower, and it feels amazing. They did a great job tuning. It's a Lund base tune, and then they go ahead and put it on the dyno and tweak it from there. So that costs probably, let me get the exact sheet out. So I went ahead and I got the official dyno sheet out from HPJ. So here it is right here. You might not be able to see it that well, but I'll read it. So max power was 439 wheel horsepower. Max torque was 386.84. So that's the performance that I got from all of the parts that are on here now. But it all came at a cost. So like I said, the engine and transmission was $5,500, and then for everything installed and tuned, and also I bought an N-Gauge from HPJ, that with everything was $3,200. So if you add all that up after install, it ends up being about $8,800. So after selling the stock stuff, I'm at right about $5,500. And for those of you that watch my videos, you know that I got rear-ended in this car in November. I ended up getting an insurance payout from that, and that was about $3,700 after everything. So with the leftovers from that, I ended up paying about $2,000 for the engine, transmission, all the Cobra Jet parts, N-Gauge, tune, everything. So that's another $2,000. We'll go ahead and add on to the grand total. So all of that to say, another $2,000 needs to be added. So the next thing I'm going to cover is insurance. I am 21 years old. I was 20 at the time that I got the car, and I have a clean driving record. I have no tickets on my record, and the only accident that I have was not my fault. I was rear-ended. So all that being said, I really don't have anything against my record. I have a good student discount as well for insurance, but my car insurance ends up coming out to close to $200 a month. So that times 12 months is about $2,400. So you go ahead and add that onto the total. That's quite a big expense for just insurance, but you know, it's one of those things you gotta have. So obviously the car doesn't look the same as when I bought it. There's a lot of things done to it, but I'm lucky enough to have some awesome friends that can give me some hookups on some nice parts for not very much or free. So modifications, I've only spent about $1,000 on this car, believe it or not. So modification wise, on the back of the car you can see I have the 1314 deck lid. That was actually a free part from Casper 50, so shout out to you, Gordon, for giving me that. That was really nice of you. All I had to do was shave the back of it and put some 3M on it and take the stock emblem off and went right on. Other than that, I do have the Corsa Extreme axle backs, which sound really good. I'll give you a quick little sound clip of that. Actually, I think I only paid $200 or $300 for those, which is a steal if anybody knows anything about those. I'm pretty sure it was $200. I wanted a different look than stock, and the stock finish on the wheels was kind of coming off. So I went ahead and painted these gloss black with some just crap paint, and I painted the brake calipers similar color to race red. It ended up turning out pretty good. It's not my favorite look, and I want to do some other stuff down the line, but as far as a cosmetic upgrade, I think it looks really good with the rest of the car and suits it really well. Hopefully the wind noise isn't too bad right now. For the front of the car, I have the Saline Grille, which is about $200, and I have some aux beam LED headlight bulbs to replace the stock ones. And then I also have this Boxster 2 front valence, which is the Cervini one. Its make isn't too great, and it's not in the best of shape, but it looks pretty good. And that was also a free part, which helps a lot. And I think it looks really good with the rest of the car and really sets it off. So that's pretty much everything that would cost money involving the car for the full year that I've owned it. Unless I'm forgetting anything, that's pretty much it. That's modifications, gas, insurance, repairs, and pretty much everything in between. So I'm gonna go ahead and calculate it and give you a grand total. And I think some of you are gonna be as shocked and disgusted as I was when I calculated this.
Eventually.
So, after everything, this car has cost me about $15,400. There are a few loose odds and ends I didn't include in the video, but it was pretty close to the actual cost of the car. So that's pretty crazy to me. A typical 2012 5.0 probably wouldn't cost the average person that much, but between everything that's been done to it, I mean, little stuff that I left out of the video, like oil changes, things like that, obviously are gonna add up. I've had this car for roughly a year now, and I've put about 22,000 miles on it. And like I said, for about 3 or 4 months of that, the car was broken. So I've gotten a lot of use out of the car. I don't think I've gotten like over $15,000 worth of use out of the car, but it's been a lot of fun. I've had a lot of good memories. I've been able to make content for the YouTube channel, and it's been a lot of fun. So I think that it's hard to justify doing anything but keeping the car at this point, but we'll see. If I got the right offer and it came along at the right time, I'd maybe let it go, and I'd probably be able to, no, I wouldn't be able to break even. But that's okay, you know. It's been a good experience owning this car. There's definitely been ups and downs, but I'm really happy I have this car. It runs amazing now. It's really fast for what it is. I think it looks pretty good for the amount of money that's been put into it, and it's only going to get better as time goes on. So that is the cost of ownership of a 2012 5.0 for a year for me. So if this is your first video of mine that you're watching, please go ahead and like or comment. I don't care if it's negative. I don't care if it's a dislike. Oh, you know, a like's a like. It all plays into the algorithm. But that's not what matters. Anyway, if you wouldn't mind, I'd love it if you would stick around and subscribe. I have a lot more videos of this car that will be coming out. I also have some other videos of other cars, and I got some reviews coming out soon. One of them is going to be really cool. It's like a before and after 2-part series, and I think you guys are going to like that a lot. So just let me know what you want to see. If you're new around here, please subscribe, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.